as a new member, you came in and said, listen, I have an idea. I think it could work for us. It works for other Rotary clubs as a fundraiser, and we should try and do this.
Mm-hmm.
And the club members listened, and they got on board, and everybody helps out. One of the things, if I can back up to Men Who Cook, and it includes Blues and Barbecue, is we have 100% participation in our club. Nobody sits on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Everybody is involved doing something in the preparation or the execution of the event. And Blues and Barbecue is a great day. We've been fortunate to have good weather. You bring in 5 live bands. We have smoked pork and sandwiches and hamburgers and hot dogs and beverages, and it's a great day out.
And although it's a fundraiser and it has been successful at raising money, the main purpose is to bring the community together.
Well, I would say the main purpose is twofold. Certainly to give the community an opportunity to have a good time, and also to help them recognize Rotary and allow us to reach out to others in the communities about what we are.
Now, there's one other event that the Patterson Club does, and in future episodes we'll talk about the other clubs, Carmel, Lake Mahopac, Pauling, and Brewster. But the one newest event that the Patterson Club has done is called Touch a Truck, and I think we have some slides about that. Can you tell us a little bit about Touch a Truck?
Well, Touch a Truck was another excellent idea that came about. I think you were involved in that, in the nascent stages of that, and certainly in the execution of it. And what it does basically is allow children of all ages to see what major construction equipment, firefighting equipment, emergency vehicles that are out there. You want to sit in a semi? Come sit in a semi with 18 speeds. You want to see how big the hoses are on a fire truck? Come on down.
Yeah.
And that was not a major fundraiser, but it did raise funds for the food pantry and for the veterans.
And I love the fact that these events bring the community together. Very often they come to these events knowing or hearing that it's a Rotary event, and they don't understand where the money is going to go to from these events. Yes, the money goes to the Rotary, but what happens to that money after the Rotary takes it in?
Well, we have a variety of significant charities here locally that we contribute to. And let me add that over 90% of the funds that we raise locally stay locally in Putnam County and northern Westchester. 10% or less go to Rotary International to fund the international programs. But we give to groups like the Putnam Community Action Program, or CAP. We give to all the food pantries in Patterson, Pauling, Brewster, Carmel, and Lake Mahopac. We give to child advocacy groups, Cruz Voice, which is for autism, hospice care, family and community services, Putnam SPCA, and the Putnam Humane Society. Park is another one, Guiding Eyes for the Blind, Make-A-Wish, Communities That Care, Rotary Scholarships. We give 3 scholarships away, just Patterson, and for the most part, Rotary is one of the largest organizations in the world that gives scholarships away. The Hudson Valley Cerebral Palsy Association, Green Chimneys, the Putnam County Sheriff's Cadets, and Camp Sundown is another example.
You know, I think that it's important that people know that although the Rotary takes in these funds through fundraisers, it all goes back into the community. It goes to organizations that maybe couldn't raise enough money on their own, and these are great local organizations that we all know and support.
Absolutely. The funds have dried up to a great degree. It's no surprise that the federal government and the state government are not contributing funds like they used to in decades gone by, and we're here to help make up the gap.
Now, there's one other item that the Patterson Rotary has spent money on lately, and that is the Fall Pumpkin Festival. Can you take a minute or two to tell us about the Fall Pumpkin Festival?
Well, sure. That was a brainchild of one of our newer members. 2 years ago, he got up and said that he'd like to bring a group of children from the Bronx, from an elementary school up to Putnam County to pick pumpkins.
A pretty poor section of the Bronx.
A very poor section of the Bronx, because they don't get out to the country much, and that didn't seem as feasible. So we turned the table a little bit and said, let's bring the pumpkins to them. And so a large group of the club brought the pumpkins down, brought pumpkins and apple cider and donuts, and made a day of it. And some of these children had never seen a pumpkin before. We did this last fall and again just a couple of weeks ago. We hope this to be maintains as an annual event because it does make a difference.
Yes. Yep. It was a great day. I had the opportunity to be there and to see the looks on these kids' faces when they got to pick their very own pumpkin, and many of them hold a pumpkin for the first time, learn about it. It was a sight to behold. So there's one other event that's coming up that the Pauling Rotary Club is going to be doing, and that is a fundraiser also. Can you tell us a little bit about what type of festival is it?
This is a chocolate festival. I mean, how can you go wrong? This is one of the greatest ideas going. And it's on November 14th from 11 to 4 p.m., 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Lakeside Park in Pauling. There's chocolate galore and other vendors, and the proceeds will go to the local food pantry and to Camp Sundown.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So it's another great opportunity to come out and support a Rotary event. Now people know a little bit more about Rotary, but you can come to this event and eat chocolate and have it help people who are in need. So that's awesome.
And have a good time outside.
And have a great time. So I hope you've enjoyed learning about Rotary. Future shows we'll have members from other Rotary clubs that will come on and tell us about what their clubs are doing, interesting projects that we're doing both locally and globally. But for now, when you see the Rotary wheel on the side of the road, when you see that big gear, you'll be able to say that you know a little bit more about Rotary and the great organization that's behind it. And please feel free to come visit one of your local clubs when they're having a meeting. So thanks so much for being part of our first show about Rotary.